Jujutsu Kaisen. It's all the hype these days in the anime community, but my friends Osi and Crystal have yet to watch the anime. Christine watched the first 3 episodes and read the manga straight afterwards because of how much she loved it. I, Scott, on the other hand, have just watched the latest episodes 8, 9, and 10, and I'm pretty unimpressed with the story so far. But with the differing opinions comes an opportunity for a little debate. Christine versus Scott. Me. The objective for Christine is to convince Osi and Crystal to watch Jujutsu Kaisen in the near future. The objective for me is to convince them to leave it on the back of the list for now. The rules: you have to speak honestly and you can't make up lies about the show. With everything explained, let's begin our first war of words.
All right, so my opening questions for you, for Osi and Crystal. Number 1, do you like anime?
Yes,
I've
I do
been
like
known
anime.
to enjoy anime from time to time.
Okay. Number 2, do you like action?
I do like action.
I love
Action is
action.
great.
2 check marks. Number 3, do you like fantasy/magic?
That's some of my favorite stuff.
You know it.
That's some of my favorite stuff.
Oh
And number 4, do you like badass characters?
Ooh,
The badder, the
baddest.
better.
The
The
baddest
badder,
of
the better.
asses.
All right, that checks marks all of it. Sounds like you guys are gonna watch it.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
Oh,
All right, I have a hard journey ahead of me. Firstly, I want to this is not going to help my case, but I will say that the early episodes are enjoyable to watch. And second of all, Christine, she's read the manga, so just saying, she's only watched up to episode 3, and I've watched past that. And let me say, the later episodes are, number 1, yes, there's some good action in it, but what is action without actually feeling the weight of the characters and feeling like these characters matter? Because right now, obviously in the beginning, characters, you don't know much about them, but right now they seem like carbon copies of Naruto characters. One is like a...
I have a counter.
Okay. Let me explain it first. So another rule is to avoid spoilers, but basically there's this character who's very similar to Naruto. It's kind of naive. There's sort of this, you know how Naruto had the QB in him?
Yes.
So it's very similar to that. And it just feels like a lot of similarities, and they play on a lot of tropes of anime, which to me have become really, really cliche at this point. So the later episodes are kind of, one, not that entertaining to me. They just like sort of go by and like not much happen at all. And 2, there just hasn't been anything noteworthy in this story, in my opinion. But yeah, go ahead to your counter.
Okay. So I'm gonna address Scott's second point here, and how that they are carbon copies of Naruto. So Naruto, the anime, is a legendary anime. Okay, how do you follow that up? You can't really, but you can definitely come close to second. And that's what the people are asking for. That's what the audience wants. They want kind of like a Naruto reboot, albeit Boruto is that, but this has different aspects which may, tickle your fancy. So you will, or so will you. And then to address Scott's first point and how there's no weight in the characters, I'm gonna ask you this simple question, all right? And this better be a yes answer. Do you guys like John Wick?
No.
do.
Yes. Of course.
There you go. Was there weight in all the characters? Was there a plot?
Is John
I
Wick
don't
in
know.
the anime?
And maybe yes.
Yeah, that's a
That would be amazing.
He makes
a bit
a
of
cameo.
a stretch right there.
Just kidding, he doesn't.
These connections, I'm not sure they're great connections. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, does there need to be weight in the characters in order for you to enjoy it? Maybe not. But similar to John Wick, there was.
All right, let me appeal to OC's sort of standards, right? Standards to storytelling, standards to all things like story worthy, right? So
Right.
right now,
I mean, I will say
it-
that I am my proclivities do veer towards story-driven narratives versus character-driven. I enjoy both, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, before you do that, Scott, I'm gonna address your
Sure.
very, very first point, which was Christine has only watched 3 episodes, but I read into the future. Okay, you can't do that with anime episodes.
hold
Let
up.
me tell you, there is a storyline there.
Of course, there's bound to be a storyline eventually, but right now we're convincing them at this moment whether or not they're gonna watch it, you know, in the near future. And right now, I don't think it's worth watching in the near future, because right now there's not much of a story going on. There have been good action sequences, but that's really about it. Other than that, it sort of feels like another standard anime in terms of shonen. So, you know, there's plenty of that. And for me these days, they don't really entice me as much just because the story isn't as interesting. So if you're looking for something like Great Pretender, it's not like that. There's not much interest in the story. It's just good action sequences and very, very cliche anime stuff. Like,
Question from a non-watcher of Jujutsu Kaisen. Where would you put it as far as comparing it to other modern shonen like My Hero Academia?
oh, My Hero's way better.
Christine?
I can't say too much just because if we're basing it off of episodes, there's only 9 episodes out so far. My Hero has like 4 seasons out, I think.
I'll say that the first few episodes of My Hero are better than Jujutsu Kaisen in terms of like story and also like I'd say even characters, because right now we don't know much about the characters at all.
Yeah, My Hero's character driven. Definitely.
I would say if you're looking for something kind of like, you could kind of compare it in terms of action to Attack on Titan, as in it's very Game of Thrones-esque, where like Red Wedding, so to speak. So I think that's kind of something that I like about it.
Wait,
and
so
that's
you're saying
why-
that Jujutsu Kaisen has like Game of Thrones vibes?
in terms of like, I don't want to spoil, you know? I
Okay.
don't want to spoil too much because that violates our guidelines.
Yeah,
How-
don't say plot points, but you can talk about, you know, how it feels, the mood,
Yeah.
yeah.
As someone,
But if you,
well,
sorry,
I'm a,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Crystal.
I'm a fan of horror, and you said there's horror elements in it, right?
Yes.
Like, how does this appeal to like the general horror fan? Like, as far as like the art and the plot.
So it deals with like demons and exorcism, and I think
Barely.
that's
Barely.
yeah, but that's what they exorcism is
Yeah.
a term they use to say that they're gonna like fight / kill a demon, you know. But I wouldn't say that it's a horror genre anime. I would more so say it's geared more towards like action.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like Hellsing, but it might be like Blue Exorcist or something, or
Yeah.
okay.
And if you watch Blue Exorcist, like it's
Pretty
kind of
similar.
similar. Yeah.
It's starting to remind me from the way you guys are talking about it.
It's
Blue
kind of
Exorcist meets Naruto.
Oh, really?
Dude, come on. Can you ask for a better crossover? You just made my point, Scott. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, we can't lie. Since I've watched up to this amount of episodes, I did enjoy the first few episodes, but like I said, the episodes, I feel like, at least the later ones so far, like the past 3 episodes have been boring to me. Like, I watched them and hardly anything happens. This super cliche character enters, other cliche character enters. They do some action sequences, and I'm like, what for? I don't care
I
about
have
any
a
of
question for you, Scott. If
Okay, go
you're
ahead.
trying to convince Crystal and OC to not watch it, why have you continued to watch it, you hypocrite?
this. Okay, number one. Number
drop.
one.
Because it's entertaining?
No, like I said, the first few episodes were good, and that's why I continued to watch it. But then, you know, watching on, I'm like, I almost don't even feel like watching it anymore.
Yeah, if you're gonna commit to this argument, you better just stop watching it after this. That'll really convince me.
Almost feels like, keywords guys, almost feels like he doesn't want to watch it anymore.
Okay. Just to counter what you just said, you have to watch something to know whether or not it's worth watching. So
Yes, but you're not stating that you're gonna stop watching. Keywords, Scott. Keywords.
okay, I watched the latest episode today, right?
Today.
Yes, and I told you it was boring.
Guys.
It was boring. Like hardly anything happened.
I just have to say that just like Queen's Gambit, there has to be boring episodes to develop a story.
3 boring episodes in a row.
Just like
in an
Naruto
anime?
and One Piece, guys.
Okay, this
there
is
has
new era
to be
anime.
Fillers.
This is new era anime. New era anime is more concise. It lacks filler usually. Like, have you guys watched Parasite?
No, it's on my list.
Okay.
Though.
Parasite's a good anime, but how can you have 3 like not really anything important happens or not? I don't know. Just the storytelling in this anime is, and then also the anime tropes are just too cliche for me.
Yeah. Well, to your point, Scott, there's also, you may think that it's boring, but it could also come back as a, like, maybe that's like their storytelling strategy, right? Maybe they're gonna bring something back that you need to have watched in those episodes, but you don't know unless you continue watching. So there may be some important things there that you've disregarded.
So the argument isn't like, I'm never going to watch this again. The argument is right now, like, it's not worth watching. Like, maybe you should wait till next year, till it progresses, like, much, much further. But right now, it's just, if you catch up to it and you're watching it, like, weekly or something, it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
Well, any questions from our participants, Crystal and OC?
I think I got it all out there as far as my curiosities so far. I think I've low-key made my decision.
I think, I think I'm starting to form, I guess, my opinion on what I think I should watch next. I'll probably get to it because there's just a lot of buzz about it right now.
Yeah.
But as far as like what I'm gonna watch next, that I'm just not so sure about. Just because I'm hearing both sides of the
I think it
argument.
is. Sorry, go ahead.
We can close this off. But, first off, to the audience and viewers, this is just a complete experimental video, and we literally came up with it last minute. So we will come up with more structure to this, because I do enjoy this, like debating about certain things and having a voting system. But I think when I say current moment, I say like near future, or like something you plan on doing like sooner than later. So if you're gonna put it off by, let's say, like a year, then I did my job. If you're gonna watch it like within the next months or so, then Christine did her job.
Yes. All right, so closing statement for me. According to my data analysis, checking off the boxes. 1, you guys like anime. 2, you guys like action. 3, adventure, fantasy, whatnot. John Wick.
Exhibit 1.
According to the data, this anime will suit your guys' style. And this will come up. If I was a Netflix generator and showed you shows that you may like, that would be on that list. And bam, you would be clicking it.
My closing statement. How many times have you guys entered with that idea that these are the checklists of the genre, these are the things that are being pushed to me by YouTube, and then you click on a video and it ends up not even being a good video? That's happened so often to me, that these are supposedly like the things I like, but it comes off as hollow, and it comes off as like just another cliche anime. That's what you're getting from the first 9 episodes.
Okay.
All right.
So is now the time where we unveil our decision?
Yes.
Okay. I suppose I'll go first. I was going back and forth. Scott had me for a while, but then I think at the end, Christine got me, because I think that realistically,
No, just kidding.
realistically, I feel like I will not. I will definitely push this off, but I don't think it'll be up to a year that I'll push it off. I think that I usually don't watch animes as they're coming out. I'll usually allow like episodes to build up before I get into it, and especially for a new anime that's only got a couple episodes out, I think that I'll definitely not watch it like today. I'm not gonna go and start watching it today, but I'll probably give it a couple of months. Maybe once I've caught up on Attack on Titan and My Hero, and there's nothing else.
And One Piece too, right?
One Piece is different. One Piece is different. I'm only on episode 30 of One Piece, so let's not talk about that.
I want to say the same thing. It was kind of a back and forth for me. I was kind of juggling around the two options in my head of like watching this right away or like pretty much not watching it at all. And I think at the end, Scott, you might have like shot yourself in the foot with that long of a window. 1 year. I'm like OC, like I usually will tune into things once there's like a little bit of buzz about it, because then at least, you know, I can have discussions with people about, you know, things that they're interested in. But you had a really strong argument. I think, Christine, you also had a strong argument, but you also could have maybe played into the fact that we're all kind of like stuck at home, and it's like, really, what else do we have to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, which is what kind of like a big kind of outside of the argument factor for me. So unlike OC, I think I will check it out today. So Christine pretty much won.
Nice.
I am a TikTok algorithm, guys.
I love a good story, but I think you mentioned another anime that I'm really interested in watching, Scott, which is Great Pretender. But they're so different, and I think I like having stuff that has great stories, and I like stuff that has a lot of action, just so I can like, you know, so that like my interest can be like peaked in both, and like everything that I'm interested in can be like checked off, like all the boxes pretty much. So
honestly, I had both. I had an uphill battle. This is a popular anime right now. I think a lot of people love it. But I do believe in what I said. I do think it's very cliche at moments. Like, it plays on a lot of anime tropes, and I do think that for me, the only reason I'm watching it is because there's literally nothing else that I'm watching right now.
Exactly.
Like, I watched Great Pretender season 2, just like yesterday, I think. So when you guys catch up with that, we can talk about it. But in terms of like shonen animes these days, I just I don't feel it. You know, I keep up with One Piece. I keep up with. I mean, that's just One Piece is just forever going, I guess. But other than that, like the shonen animes I've watched recently have not hit very well for me.
I'd have to agree with you. There's like, I've actually stopped watching anime for a month now. I think I'm just giving myself a break because I like to go on binges. Sometimes you have to give yourself a break.
And I feel that because it's like the vibe of a lot of the shonen anime is like the same.
I'm just looking for something new, something like interesting in terms of like story, and not just like hollow story beats, you know. But again, it could get a lot better. So, you know, don't flame me if you love this show or something. I might change my opinion later.
Sweet.
All right, tune in for next episode, Changing Scott's Opinion.
All right, peace.